So, dear students, good afternoon. Today we're discussing about very important examination point of view topic that is called prescriptive process model. So, when you compare carefully in the unit 1, so one of the repeat question is called prescriptive process model. The question like that, for example, write about various prescriptive process model in various prescriptive process models in software engineering. Otherwise, write about prescriptive process models with examples, for example. So that time you simply follow the information. Based on the information, you should prepare the concerned diagrams neatly. It's enough for the examination point of view. So before start of this topic, I want to take a simple example. So now the government simply changed it. The government introduced some kind of new schemes, So the government has to provide the free schemes to the people. The schemes will be taken by the government to provide to the people into various sectors. So for example, schemes is not only one, number of is there. The number of schemes will be provided to the concerned people, the how it is possible to provide. అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ అనేది స్కీమ్స్ ని పీపుల్ కి ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి అంటే దాని దగ్గర ఒక ప్యాటర్న్ ఉంటుందండి. సో దే విల్ బి ఫాలో వన్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్యాటర్న్. సో హూ ఆర్ ద పీపుల్ ఎలిజిబుల్ ఫర్ దిస్ స్కీమ్? ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్, ఎవరికి ఇస్తే బాగుంటుంది? ఒక స్కీమ్ ఉంది అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ద స్కీమ్ ఈజ్ ఎలిజిబుల్ టు విచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్? ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. సెకండ్ స్కీమ్ is different. First scheme is different, second is different. But second is related to the some people only. Third scheme is there, for example, third is belongs to some kind of categories. All the people is not equal. All the people is not eligible to for the all the schemes. That time, the government has to provide some kind of guides and rules and regulations how to provide these schemes to the people who are eligible. In that, the government has to provide one kind of application form is called Praja Palana, for example. In the Praja Palana application, they have to provide one kind of schemes sequentially. First scheme is goes to which kind of people? Second scheme goes to which kind of people? Third scheme goes to which kind of people? That kind of nothing but the government has to examine how many members are possible to first scheme. How many members are eligible for the second scheme? How many eligible for third, fourth, fifth? That like measurement taken by the government. But the government wants to current figure who's are eligible, who's are benefited by this scheme. So why I'm taking this example, but government is only one agency, government is only organization. They want to provide the services to the multi people. So the multi people will be categorized into some kind of categories. For example, what is that? Mahalakshmi scheme is there, is only for ladies, for example, not for gents, not for male, only female candidates are created by the scheme is there, for example. So the government will be provide the one kind of category, one kind of scheme to the specialized person. That time, they want to first receive the information. How many female people are there who are eligible for this scheme? The total measurement will be taken by the government step by step. First, a scheme enti, ఎంతమంది అప్లై చేశారు, ఎంతమంది ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఉంది, ఇట్స్ క్లియర్ నౌ. How many members are having the white ration card? Everything will be taken by the government step by step. At last, they have to examine. These are current number of eligible people. For example, 1 lakh members apply chesarandi. It's clear now. Government carefully examine that applications of 1 lakh. At last, they have to simply measure 50,000 members are eligible to this scheme. How they are giving the scheme is called 50,000 is there. They have to check out each category step by step. At last, they have to find out one figure is called 50,000. That is called result. So before result, the government will be depend on some kind of stages. ఫస్ట్ అప్లికేషన్ తీసుకోవాలి. ఆ అప్లికేషన్స్ లో ఎంతమంది ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఏ స్కీమ్ కి ఎంతమంది అప్లై చేశారు, ఆ అప్లై చేసిన స్కీమ్స్ లో ఎంతమంది మేల్ ఉన్నారు, ఫిమేల్ ఉన్నారు, ఆ మేల్ లో ఎంతమంది ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఉంది, ఎంతమంది ఫిమేల్ క్యాండిడేట్స్ ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఉంది, ఇవన్నీ కూడా స్కేల్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆఫ్టర్ దే హ్యావ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ వన్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఫిగర్ దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ రిజల్ట్. Like that example, we have to discuss about here prescriptive. Prescriptive is a word taken for what? For example, just I told, one scheme will be provided to the current person means what? The government has to take some kind of rules and regulations. Our rules and regulations follow to మన కావాల్సిన candidate ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయడం. That is called as prescriptive. And the meaning ఏంటి, మనకంటే ఒక ట్యూనింగ్ రిజల్ట్ రావాలంటే we have to apply some more benefits, more features, more forms. When these forms are helping to get the perfect input display as a perfect output. I am taking here the name prescriptive is given because the model prescribes a set of activities. You should apply some kind of activities. You should apply some kind of actions. You should apply some kind of task. You should apply some kind of quality assurance and change the mechanism. When you should apply the additional features to get a wonderful result, the application process is called as prescriptive. Is called as prescriptive. So we can add some more features to get a tuning result. That is called prescriptive. I am writing here. Prescriptive process model produces the methods how a new software system should be generated. You know, software engineering is a technology to provide the software depend on user choice. For example, I want to write the C programming means what? First you learn the knowledge about the C language. When you perfect in the C language, you should write the particular coding of the C. When you have the full experience about the C++, it is ready to write some more in the C++. Commonly, that like we want this kind of process model to produce the methods how a new software system should be generated. These models are used as guidelines, just I told in the primarily guidelines to organize and structure how software development activities should perform and check out what in order, step by step. The people which are depend on step-by-step process to get a wonderful result, that time these kind of models are helping to feature and structure whatever you want. Basically, the prescribed process models are classified into mainly 3 categories, like a waterfall method, incremental process model, and RAD model, rapid application development model. So these 3 models are explain how the perfect result will be displayed as an output. We should know the each category, what is the waterfall model, what is the incremental, what is the RAD process model. Now I'm writing here, when you carefully observe this diagram, you should follow about here some kind of stages are there, like a communication, planning, modeling, construction, and deployment is there. It's clear now. So when you complete perfectly about this communication, you should go to second stage. And meaning when you complete the first stage completely, then you go to second phase. Then complete the second phase perfectly, then go to third phase. Third phase completed successfully, then go to fourth and fifth simultaneously. So when you carefully observe here, one by one is there. When you carefully observe this structure, one phase to second, second phase to third, third phase to fourth, and fourth to fifth. Automatically, you have to simply apply one kind of model is called waterfalling, like this waterfalling, like this. So based on this imagination, they have to provide the name is called waterfall method or waterfall model is there. I am writing here communication. Already you know the information about these 5 categories in the generic process model. Before writing of this waterfall model, just you rewind and take a review on the generic process model. You have to get the wonderful information, whatever you want. Yes. Now, when you carefully observe these stages are there, first you complete the communication successfully, then you go to planning is there. The complete the planning, you go to modeling is there. I have to give us some specific and a particular information, whatever you want here. Now, before starting of this one is there, the waterfall model will be called as, another name is called classic life cycle model is there. So in this model, each phase is fully completed before the beginning of the next phase. Just take told, the primary stage will be successfully completed. You simply go to second stage is there. After completion of second stage, automatically go to third phase. Now, the second phase will be acting as a output from the previous phase. At the same time, display as a input. Looking carefully here. Input to output here. Again, input to output and input to output. One phase will be acted as a, at the same time, input phase and output phase equally. It's clear no more. But condition is what? Compulsory. You should complete the every phase sequentially. This model is used for only small projects. The user want to prepare the small projects. This model is very easy to design the project and implement the project. In this model, the feedback is taken after each phase to ensure that the project is on the right path. Very important fact is there, no? So before deployment or last or secondary implementation, the consumer or user must and should prepare the one kind of feedback form is there. That is called feedback form is there. So the feedback is giving the wonderful result and tuning result by the customer, and my project is success nothing but automatically that is depend on feedback. Good feedback will be provide the good project. I am taking here testing parts. Testing part starts only after the development is completed. So testing is a very, very important part is there. This is called as construction. So construction is treated as a testing phase to tuning the result. Is there any errors are there? Avoiding the errors and rectify the errors, automatically you have to simply convert the perfect result by using this construction is there. So you can imagine here, planning is the key role factor in the waterfall method, and construction is the key role model to represent the result in this model. So based on this one is there. So the waterfall method is a very, very easy method to construct the particular project by the user and by the organization. But this is also good model. At the same time, we have some lot of advantages there. No, for example, looking here, advantage nothing but the waterfall model is simple and easy to understand, implement, and use. Just I told. But condition is what? Each phase should complete it successfully one by one compulsory. So for example, in this case, I want to take a simple example is there. No? For example, before start of your practical examination, you don't know what is your program. Is clear no? Receive the program by the teacher and writing the code and go to the system and implement the information. Automatically got a output. Is clear no? ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తారండి మీరు ఫస్ట్ మీరు ప్రోగ్రామ్ తీసుకున్నారు తర్వాత ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాస్తారు స్టెప్ 1 రిసీవ్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్టెప్ 2 రైటింగ్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్టెప్ 3 execute the program, step 4 and getting the output. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తారండి, ఒక అవుట్పుట్ రావాలంటే మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు, స్టెప్ 1, 2, 3 అంటే సీక్వెన్స్ గా వచ్చారు. ఈ స్టెప్ 1, 2, 3లో ఏ ఒక్క స్టెప్ కనుక మీరు ఫాలో అవ్వలేదు అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యు నాట్ గెటింగ్ ద లాస్ట్ ఫేజ్, అంటే రిజల్ట్ అనేది రాదు. అలాగే ఈ వాటర్ ఫాల్ మెథడ్ లో ఏం చేస్తామండి, యూ షుడ్ ఫాలో ద ఈచ్ కేటగిరీ కంపల్సరీ. కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఆఫ్టర్ ప్లానింగ్, ప్లానింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ మోడలింగ్, మోడలింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ వాట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్, కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఆఫ్టర్ డిప్లాయ్మెంట్, ఇలాగా ఉండాలి. Okay, but I'm writing here, this is a very, very easy model to design the project. It is a very understandable model and implement very easy by the user. All the requirements are known at the beginning of the project. Hence, it is easy to manage. Very good. This model works for small projects because the requirements are understood very well. If you want to create the small size of the projects, this model is very sufficient for designing or construction or deployment is there. At the same time, whatever feel easy means automatically depend on some drawbacks are there. This also having the one drawbacks is there. What is called, this model is not good for complex and object-oriented projects where there is no information, there is no data. We can't structure the project by this model. It is a poor model for long projects. Just I told, only mini projects are taken by this model. Big projects or long projects is not possible by this project, this model. The problems within this model are very uncovered or until the software testing is there. So not fulfilled by fulfill the errors which are taken by the user promptly. The amount of risk is high. Why? Because this is a very, very high risk is there, no? The small projects is a very careful to design by the user, no problem is there. But high projects or big projects is not possible. Why? Because big projects is taken by the cost expensive. Why it is cost expensive? You know, the every stage will be detailed explanation by the experts. So one experts means there is no problem. Lot of experts means what? It is not possible to pay the salary to the particular person is there. So very expensive. So expensive means the big companies only possible to face the problem. The small companies are not possible to face the problem is there, no? Anyway, but here the waterfall model only for designing the projects that all belongs to low storage or small projects. Then I'm going to next second is there incremental process model. Very careful observe here. Incremental means what? We can increase. అంటే మనకంటూ ఒక అవుట్పుట్ రిజల్టింగ్ అవుట్పుట్ రావాలి అంటే మనం ఏం చేయాలి? We can increment, we can add some more features. We have to add the features to each state up to getting the tuning results. Waterfall method ki, incremental method ki difference untundandi. Same stages untayi. Communication nunchi deployment varaki same untayi. Kani ikkada endante మనం ఈచ్ కేటగిరీలో ఎక్కడైనా ఫెయిల్యూర్స్ ఉంటే మనం రెక్టిఫై చేసుకునే అవకాశం మనకి ఇక్కడ ఉంటుందండి. కమ్యూనికేషన్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ ఉంది అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దెన్ యూ గో టు ప్లానింగ్ లో కనుక ఏమైనా డ్రాబ్యాక్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, ఆ డ్రాబ్యాక్స్ ని అవాయిడ్ చేయాలంటే మనకి ఏం కావాలి? కొన్ని అడ్వైజెస్ కావాలి, ఒక ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ కావాలి. ఓకే, సో ఆఫ్టర్ టేకింగ్ ద ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ దెన్ యూ కెన్ మేక్ ఎ కరెక్షన్ ఇన్ ద ప్లానింగ్, దెన్ యూ గో టు నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్ ఇస్ దే. సో అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? ప్రతి ఫేజ్ లో మనకు కావాల్సిన ఎర్రర్స్ ని అవాయిడ్ చేసుకుంటూ మనకంటూ ఒక ట్యూనింగ్ రిజల్ట్స్ రావడానికి మనం ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఇంక్రిమెంటల్. Is clear now? I am writing here. The incremental model combines the elements of waterfall model. Same like this. Communication నుంచి deployment వరకు సేమ్ ఉంటాయండి, ఎలాంటి స్టేజెస్ ఏం మారవు. The first increment in the model is generally a core product is there, no? Yes, the beginning communication is called as core product is there. Each increment builds the product and submit it into the customer for any suggested modifications. In the each phase, you can modify your own choice up to getting the result. Then passing into the second phase. కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో ఫెయిల్ వస్తుంది అనుకోండి, కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో మీరు కావాల్సిన ఎర్రర్స్ రెక్టిఫై చేస్తారు, తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ ఫేజ్కి వెళ్తారు. నెక్స్ట్ ఫేజ్ లో మీరు ఎర్రర్స్ అనుకోండి, అక్కడ రెక్టిఫై చేస్తారు, మళ్ళీ థర్డ్ ఫేజ్కి వెళ్తారు. సో ఇలా మీరు ఒక స్టేజెస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు కాబట్టి దర్ ఈస్ డిపెండ్ ఆన్ యువర్ ఆపరేషన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్ ఇంక్రిమెంటల్ ప్రాసెస్ మోడల్ ఇస్ దేర్. ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ హియర్, ఈచ్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ builds the product and submits it to the customer for any suggested modifications. The next increment implements on the customer suggestions and add additional requirements in the previous increment. For example, first, second thought successfully over. Again, you get some drawbacks in the first. Again, come to the back in the first phase. Then you take modifications, then you can proceed. So like that, you come to the back and take the revaluation and resolve the problems, then go to second phase. Again, rectify the problems, then go to, but this is a very, very time expensive model. But anyway, I am writing here, this process is repeated until the product is finished. So meekantu oka tuning result vachenta varaku em chestarandi, you can take as repeated actions. You should take a repeated actions in the each phase, then at last you get a wonderful result. But I am taking here, at the same time, we have some lot of advantages and disadvantages there. No, I am taking here, this model is flexible because the cost of development is low and initial product is delivery is faster. సో మనము ప్రతి ఫేజ్ లో కూడా కావాల్సినప్పుడు రావడము చేయడం చేస్తూ ఉంటాం కాబట్టి, సో మనకి వాటర్ ఫాల్ తో పోల్చుకుంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి చాలా ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీగా ఉంటుందండి. సో యూ కమ్ టు ద సింప్లీ బ్యాక్, take a resolvation, then you go to second phase, take a resolvation, again come to the back, up to your satisfaction. Up to your satisfaction. I am taking here, this model is flexible because the cost of development is low and initial product delivery is faster. It is easier to test and debug. Debug means what? Removing the errors, avoiding the errors is called debugging. Elant errors lekunda cheyadani debugging antaru. So it is easier to test and debug during the smaller iteration. Iteration means what? Come to the back, rectification, then moving. It's clear, no? And a repeated action emantarandi iteration antaru. So iteration is a good process to take a small. So for example, మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ రాసేటప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారండి, ఒక ఆన్సర్ మీకు ఐడియా రాలేదనుకోండి, you should write the one paragraph is there and leave the some space and go to next page there. There is no idea about the full answer in the examination, then you should write the 2 lines or few lines in the answer, then go to leave the some space in the page, then go to next answer. So after end of the examination, you automatically think about the answer. Automatically you got a answer, automatically you go to same space and you can simply continue. అంటే మీరు ఎక్కడైతే ఆన్సర్ కి కొన్ని లైన్స్ రాసి అక్కడ స్పేస్ వదిలిపెట్టారో, మీకు ఐడియా వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తారు, మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ వచ్చేస్తారు, ఆన్సర్ ని ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేస్తారు. ఇస్ క్లియర్ నౌ? దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ యాక్షన్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ ఇటరేషన్. Repeated action or repeated process is called as iteration. The working of the software generates quickly and early during the software life cycle is there. So these are called as some kind of advantages. At the same time, we have some kind of demerits, drawbacks, like the cost of the final product may cross the cost estimation initially. Yes, ma. So project development, system development, this action is totally depend on expensive, lot of expensive. మీరు ఒక సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డిజైన్ చేయాలి అంటే సమ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్ ఉంటుందండి. సో సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్, సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డిజైన్ is taken by the totally big companies only. Why? Because they have the lot of cost is there, they have lot of experts are there. By using the experts, you can simply design whatever you want. Software is there promptly. I am taking here, the cost of the final product may cross the cost estimated initially. అనుకున్న టైంకి కంప్లీట్ అవ్వచ్చు, కాకపోవచ్చు. ఆ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్ అనేది మీరు అనుకున్న లిమిటేషన్లో ఉండొచ్చు, ఉండకపోవచ్చు. So for example, 50 lakhs for one software means what? Maybe taking the 70 lakhs. Depend on your resources, depend on your requirements, depend on your resources. This model requires a very clear and complete planning is there. If you want to create a project by using the incremental process model, first the company wants very clear and complete planning is must. There is no good planning, we can't expecting any kind of result in the project. So planning correct లేదనుకోండి మన రిజల్ట్ కూడా కరెక్ట్గా ఉండదు. సో ప్లానింగ్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ప్రాక్టీస్. దీన్ని బట్టి మీకు ఏమర్థమైందండి, మనకున్నటువంటి 5 స్టేజెస్లో అకార్డింగ్ టు ఇంక్రిమెంటల్ ప్రాసెస్ మోడల్, ప్లానింగ్ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్ phase to getting the wonderful result. Then I'm going to third phase is called as RAD model. So in the last internal examination, I already given that RAD stands for Rapid Application Development Model. By using this model, rapid means what? Quickly. Within short time, we want to design the particular project. That time you should follow a model is called as RAD model, Rapid Application. సో మనకు ఉన్నటువంటి సోర్సెస్ ని వినియోగించుకొని మనకు కావాల్సిన ప్రాజెక్ట్ ని వీలైనంత త్వరగా కంప్లీట్ చేయడాన్ని ర్యాపిడ్ అప్లికేషన్ అంటారు. ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ హియర్. Using the RAD model, software product is developed in a short period of time, which means 60 to 90 days. 60 to 90 days means what? 2 to 3 months. So low period of time, we have to simply design the particular project. That time we depend on a particular model is called RAD model. I am writing here. The initial activity starts with the communication. Yes, communication is the primary element of all the models between the customer and developer. Planning depends upon the initial requirements, and then the requirements are divided into groups are there. So planning is one of the important factor like a incremental process model. If you want any requirements means we can simply go to planning and take some kind of good plannings are there. If you want any requirements, automatically you depend on planning phase is there. At the same time, the third phase modeling is there. In this model, every user will be, by using this modeling space, automatically we have to structure the particular operation. How it is there? By using this kind of phases in the modeling, automatically the user will be convert the normal information into tuning information is there. How it is there? But these phases are divided into mainly 5 categories like a business modeling, data modeling, process modeling, application generation, and testing and turnover is there. But I'm writing here the business process model. What is there? In this phase, the data will be collected from the customer and divided into various models. ఇందాక మీకు చెప్పానండి, the government has to provide this number of schemes. For example, 6 schemes are there. The 6 schemes will be divided into different models. The government has to provide the schemes to the people అనేది బిజినెస్ మోడల్ అండి. ఈ బిజినెస్ మోడల్ మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? Collected from the data will be collected from the customer and divided into various models. So which kind of projects is you want? First, the particular agency or organization will be collect the data from the customer, then divide into some kind of models. Then example is scheme number 1, scheme number 2, scheme number 3, 4, 5, 6 by the government. Like that, this kind of dividing is taken by the one special modeling is called business modeling is there. Then I go to second is the data modeling. ఇందాక మీకు చెప్పానండి, all schemes are not equal. The first scheme is depend on some kind of categories, some kind of people. Second scheme is depend on some kind of people are there. Like that imagination, I am writing here. After dividing into modules, the data was formed as various data modules. rules and regulations will be taken by the scheme in the government. Like that, here also the user will be provide some kind of rules and regulations. My data is true or false. My data is sufficient for the project or not. My data is useful to preparation of the tuning result or not. This kind of examination taken by the one kind of model is called data modeling is there. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారండి తీసుకున్నటువంటి డేటాని డేటా మోడల్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేస్తారు. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ డేటాని తీసుకోవడం బిజినెస్ మోడలింగ్ అండి. తీసుకున్న డేటాని డేటా మోడల్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేయడాన్ని డేటా మోడలింగ్ అంటారు. తర్వాత వాట్స్ ద ప్రాసెస్ మోడల్ ఇస్ దేర్? ఇన్ దిస్ phase the data models are processed into sequentially, then shown to the customer for good or not. That is sufficient to the customer or not. మనం చేసే ప్రాజెక్ట్ అనేది ఆ పర్టికులర్ కస్టమర్ కి యూస్ఫుల్ కాదా, గుడ్ ఆర్ బ్యాడ్, ఏది మంచి ఏది చెడు, ఇలాంటి కొన్ని ఎగ్జామినేషన్ మనకు ఉంటాయి కదండి. ఆ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ చేయడానికి మనకంటూ ఒక మోడలింగ్ కావాలి, ఒక ఫేస్ కావాలి. దాని ఏమంటారు? ప్రాసెస్ మోడలింగ్ అంటారు. Then come to second is their application generation. So after satisfaction by the customer, there is no errors, there is no drawbacks, there is no any remarks. Automatically you are feeling my project is good. After you feel by yourself goodness, automatically in this phase, by using the data models, will have to create a code. By using the code, you have to design the particular program. After design the code, automatically it is testing and turnover. Turnover means what? Implementation or maintenance. This phase we have to testing the code and rectify any errors occurred into the code. If no errors occurred, automatically it is implemented as a resulting process. So this is called as a RAD model. But anyway, RAD model only using for you have to prepare the particular project by using limited time period. Means short time, within short time, we have to prepare the project by using this kind of RAD model, rapid application development model. So this is a small information about prescriptive process model. So we want a waterfall method for what? We want waterfall method for what? To create the low projects, small projects within time. We want incremental process model for what? We have to take a lot of reactions, repeated actions to getting the wonderful result in the each page. And we want this RAD model for what? We have to create the particular short period of project by using this model. So this is a very, very important question. Please put a maximum focus on this topic. Compulsory question, 99.9% chance in the examination point of view. And diagrams and must and should. So 10 marks lo meeku 4 marks diagrams ke veltayi kabatti. So you put a maximum focus on the diagrams. By using the scaling, you simply draw the diagrams looking very nice. Automatically, you got a wonderful marks in the examination point of view. I hope all of you got wonderful information from this class. Repeated once again up to realized by you, and take review many times up to you realize. Then after realize, please write this information in your notes and draw the diagrams very neatly. I am simply check out after completion of this unit. Thank you very much.